I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. The depths of depravity of Fox and the MAGA Republican propaganda echo chamber, right? It knows no low. I mean, when you think it's hit a bottom, they find new bottoms. And now, essentially every night, they're just calling for secession. They're calling for, I could only characterize it as what their words are, a violent civil war to take place because what? Because MAGA Republicans are such snowflakes and can't tolerate tolerance. They can't tolerate equality. They can't tolerate the rule of law. They can't tolerate law and order. Here, look, this is Jason Whitlock on an interview with Tucker. You'll see Tucker just kind of sitting there with that shit-eating grin for Vladimir Putin right there, nodding his head as Jason Whitlock, his guest, calls for secession. Play the clip.
We can't find common ground with people that have no respect for the truth, no respect for justice, no respect for fairness. We have to think about going our separate ways. And whether that's through secession or whether that's through some sort of national divorce, it has to be on the table because you just can't find common ground with people this delusional who think that they're God and they can make up the rules. And so I don't see a pathway forward for those of us that respect America's founding, have traditional values, have a faith in God. We got to separate. And I don't care how it's done, but I just don't see a way to coexist with people this far removed from truth.
Oh, and Whitlock wasn't done there. Whitlock goes on to cite Bible verses as justifying the need for secession. Play this clip.
He calling Trump the most righteous person in the world, but anybody looking at this knows that Alvin Bragg and the Democratic and the leftists are lawless. They don't believe in fair justice, equal treatment under the law. They don't believe in that. And so you can't have partnership with them. And then if you go down to verse 17, Paul talks about God's instruction that you got to come out from among them and separate. That's what God instructed. And that's where I think we actually are, Tucker, is these guys are so far removed from the truth, so far removed from any of the values that made this country great. We can't really have partnership with them. And my mindset went to secession, that we have to separate. We have to come out from among them. They're so unrighteous. They're so unclean that, finding common ground is impossible with people who think men can become women, who told us, hey, look, we just want two men to be able to get married and there's no slippery slope. And that was a lie. And we've seen the slippery slope. Now it's drag queens reading books to kids. Now it's taking kids to drag queen shows. Now it's mutilating kids and infecting them with gender dysphoria and using it as an excuse to cut off their breast or cut off their penis. You can't have peace. You can't have partnership with these people. There are so many lies stacked on top of lies from the whole Black Lives Matter, George Floyd deal, and the police are just out indiscriminately killing black men and it's so dangerous because of the police. That's all a lie and everybody knows it.
And then, of course, Tucker goes on to talk about how NPR is less accurate than the Tehran Times. Play this clip.
Going forward, NPR will be identified for users of Elon Musk's social media site as, quote, state-affiliated media. That is the same category as Russia Today or China Central Television. It means that NPR is not that different from the Tehran Times, with the exception, of course, being less accurate and more anti-American.
And you notice how the echo chamber works in this kind of circular fashion. You have Elon Musk takes over Twitter, funded by Saudi money. By the way, the Saudi money, which also gave $2 billion to Jared Kushner, even though Jared Kushner's not a fund manager. The Saudi money is one of the main backers behind Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter. And then Elon Musk removes the blue check mark from the New York Times, although an account named Cat Turd gets a blue check mark that spews heinous and despicable right-wing propaganda. But take away the blue check mark from the New York Times, give a blue check mark to Cat Turd to spew racist, heinous Republican propaganda. Oh, and then Elon Musk labels like NPR state-affiliated media. And then Tucker takes that and does an entire segment on it saying that NPR is less accurate than the Tehran Times. I mean, that's just the way they do things. And here, look, while we're focused on issues that matter to the American people, like we're talking about jobs and infrastructure and Social Security and Medicare and healthcare and lowering prescription drug prices and education and equality, a right of a woman to control her body. This is what Tucker is talking about. He's talking about tentacle porn. Play the clip.
Well, so it's tentacle porn. Okay, yeah, I mean, technically it is tentacle porn, which is its own subgenre, and we're not going to pollute your mind by telling you any more about it.
You know, it is utterly deranged. There's no other way to describe it. I mean, you have a guest calling for secession, citing Bible verses on a network that disgraces our country and disgraces the use of the word news. They call themselves Fox News and just platform people outright calling for secession, calling for a civil war each and every day. And then they claim that they are on the side of law and order. I mean, they are on the side of Vladimir Putin. They are on the side of our enemies. There's no other way to look at that and say that. So then they go from calling for secession to then saying that NPR is less accurate than the Tehran Times, and then saying, randomly doing segments on tentacle porn. What in the world is going on there? And fortunately, Americans are waking up. Americans are looking at that and saying, what the heck is that? What in the world? Like, that's some weird, fascist, strange stuff. And don't get me wrong. I mean, does Tucker have an audience? Sure. I mean, he has an audience who turns it on, who he injects disinformation in their veins every day. But what we can't forget on this pro-democracy side is we just got to remind people we love our country. We love our country. And we love our Constitution. And the way we show that we love it is not by performative BS. It's not by trying to scare people. When you got Jason Whitlock out there calling for secession and saying all those ridiculous things, I mean, we just got to calmly and confidently call it out and say, what are you talking about? What in the world is that? Look at that fake outrage machine. How despicable is that, what you're calling for? Don't you be citing Bible verses to justify secession? What in the world are you doing? And just remember, to always, we lead with compassion. We lead with decency. We lead with humanity. We lead with intelligence. And we're not afraid to, fight back with our ideas, and to be strong about our ideas at all. But, we lead with compassion, humanity, decency, and a love of people, a love of Americans, a love of the world. We try to make this world a better place, and if they want to call that, all the name calling for, let them, we'll just call them out and we'll expose them each and every day. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. Thanks to your support, let's get there. It's free to subscribe. Also, if you want to become a member and help fund this platform, just go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. And in addition to going to patreon.com/MeidasTouch, you can also, wherever you get your audio podcast, just search MeidasTouch Podcast and subscribe. It's free. Till next time, I'm Ben Meiselas. Thanks for watching.
The best part of waking up? MAGA Tears in my cup. Check out the new MAGA Tears mug available now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com. It's 100% union made right here in the USA. I know I'm not tired of winning yet. How about you? Get yours today.